The Pentagon is setting the record straight on what really happened to Iran's nuclear sites following the U.S. airstrikes over the weekend.
This Pentagon test video shows what the bunker buster bombs used to strike Iran's nuclear sites on Saturday are capable of. U.S. pilots dropped 12 bombs on Fordow.
In a heated press conference, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth made it known Iran's nuclear program suffered a heavy blow.
You want to call it destroyed, you want to call it defeated, you want to call it obliterated. Choose your word. This was an historically successful attack, and we should celebrate it as Americans.
Trump officials are pushing back after a leaked preliminary U.S. intelligence report suggested otherwise. Agencies such as CIA, Department of National Intelligence, and the UN Atomic Energy Agency all say the nuclear sites are destroyed or at least severely damaged.
Now, joining us now, we have Julia Manchester, a political reporter for The Hill. Julia, thank you so much for your time here this morning. First of all, just wanted to get your reaction to yesterday's press conference with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, right. I mean, we were expecting, a somewhat combative press conference, and we saw that turn out with Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth was there essentially as a spokesperson for the administration to defend, what he said was done during those Iran strikes just last weekend. We know that the administration has been irritated, annoyed, President Trump has as well, with reports saying that Iran's nuclear program was set back months instead of years. No matter, whether it was months or years, we have to say that this is certainly a feat, I would say, that the administration, that any country was able to carry out this mission. However, we have seen these reports that could downplay that mission. And that was what the point of that press conference was, for Pete Hegseth to really push back on that narrative.
Well, and, we were talking about this yesterday, Julian and I, as journalists, because a lot of the press was feeling some of that heat from Pete Hegseth yesterday. It's not like we're saying, when I say we, the press overall, it's not like the press is saying that there wasn't a successful mission with the way it was carried out, the covert operation that no one knew about, which was fantastic. It was the end result. If the end result is to destroy the nuclear program in Iran, and we don't have those answers yet, it's hard to say if the overall mission was a full success. And so those are the questions that are still on the table. And without boots on the ground, and I don't mean soldiers, I mean like investigators looking at the specific damage done, how do we know how much the program suffered a setback?
We really don't. That's the thing. But, no one's saying it wasn't a success. They're just, measuring how much was actually taken out. I mean, like I said, the fact that the U.S. was able to carry out this operation is a pretty impressive feat in itself, and set back that program, even months. The issue was President Trump is saying it was completely destroyed, set back by years, and we just don't know that at this point. So, I mean, there really isn't much more to say about it on that end. I think it's gonna, unless we get more information.
And some of the confusion or two different takes on how much damage was actually done comes from a preliminary report that the White House and the Pentagon is saying was leaked. What are we hearing right now from members of Congress on this?
Well, you're hearing Republicans obviously defend the Trump administration, but Democrats want, more of an investigation. We know that there was a briefing on Capitol Hill yesterday where, those members of Congress were able to, maybe see some of this information. But I think there's definitely a call for more transparency.
There is so much going on, especially you got the 4th of July holiday, you got recess coming for a lot of folks up in Washington. So you've got this issue going on in the Middle East. That's just one of the many things the Trump administration is trying to juggle and not be sidetracked from Big Beautiful Bill and all the other things that they're still trying to find unification on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, I mean, Big Beautiful Bill is what they're trying to find unification on. That's Trump's legislative agenda. And it was dealt a big blow yesterday when the Senate parliamentarian, Elizabeth McDonough, essentially struck down a number of Medicaid provisions in that bill, which would have, allowed the cost of extending President Trump's 2017 tax cuts to be offset. So it puts Senate Republicans, the Trump administration, in a very difficult position because the Trump administration is saying we want that bill passed by 4th of July. despite what the Senate parliamentarian said. But Majority Leader John Thune has said, well, I'm not necessarily going to go around the parliamentarians. So they have to find a workaround to figure out this bill, and to figure out this bill in a way that satisfies moderates in the Republican conference, but also fiscal hawks and conservatives, not only in the Senate, but also in the House, because remember, this has to pass through the House again.
And Julia, we know time for one more question for you here real quick. Do we believe that here, as again, the White House is working for a little bit more unity on Capitol Hill and looking for more support from both sides of the aisle? You had mentioned that some Senate Democrats said they'd like to see more transparency. Do we see that there might be the White House may be leaning towards sharing more information to try to gather that unity, or maybe restricting information coming out of the Pentagon to, again, try to make sure that no preliminary reports come out and everyone's on the same page?
I mean, I think the White House has said they want to limit what they want to share with Capitol Hill. So it seems like they're going in the opposite direction there.
All right, Julia Manchester, always appreciate your time. We know you're busy, certainly day in and day out. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.